Hello, everyone, and welcome to As Above, So Below. This is a Fluffy Dice Network podcast, and this is episode 1. I am Ty, the Dungeon Master, joined today by Onyx.
What's up? I'm Endro.
Cider.
Hey, I'm Ragnar.
Proxy.
Howdy, I'm Proxy. I'll be playing Cervoa.
And Kobold.
Hello, I'm Scarlet. I will be playing Remmy Lacuna.
Kobold.
All right. So this is, like I said, episode 1. Welcome to Cascadia. We begin looking over a wonderful, beautiful, bright orange sunset. The clouds hang low in the sky as the sun begins to dip below the horizon. The camera turning away from the sun and toward a beautiful floating island with a huge cobalt blue city sprawled over its surface. Small gliders and airships fly throughout and over the city, coming and going from the central tower port, and we dive underground through the stones, through the rocks, and suddenly through a wooden ceiling, looking into what appears to be a well-adorned waiting room of some kind. There is a desk at one end, benches on either side. On the northern wall, there are 2 doors. On the southern wall, there is a third. On all of the walls, there are promotional images for products and locations all throughout Arasalo, the city that the players are in. Speaking of the players, they all are meeting in this room. They each have been given a note, personally, addressed to them from a anonymous sender within the Arthica, a guild of archaeologists and adventurers, chroniclers of the magic and history of the entirety of Cascadia. They'd each been reached out to, asking plainly to come for an interview for a undisclosed business opportunity. They were instructed to meet on this date, at this time, in this area. So, what's going on? There's a ragtag group of people all in this same area. 3 reptiles and a deer.
Walk
Sounds
into
like
a bar.
Yeah, it sounds like a start of a
Walk into
terrible
a
joke.
bar. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So,
But
yes, you go ahead.
so off in the corner, a little closer to the entrance of the room, is just like a servant, a deer person, kind of sitting in what would probably have been fancy clothes if they weren't covered in soot and dirt and ripped up around the legs and arms and some other little places. Not a very well maintained deer, but kind of scruffy and just sticking to themselves.
Okay. Someone else? What? You know what? No, I'm gonna call on a name. What
Oh, okay.
is Endro doing?
I think Endro would probably just be sitting down in one of the chairs, just kind of surveying the room, seeing who's gathered, seeing what kind of posters and images, what kind of stuff is all around, taking the surrounding of this new area that he's been summoned to. Just staying on guard of anything that could happen.
Sir,
Endro.
Cervoa meets your eyes and just like keeps your eyes in the gaze for a little too long before awkwardly looking away.
I would like
Oh.
to make an amendment real quick. They would have asked that you keep those notes on your person as proof that you are who was supposed to have them. So
Okay.
I would say that you would have had to have it out in order to get into this building. So the four of you would see that you each have a similarly wax stamped letter. So you all would know you are all there for a similar purpose. And Endro, you mentioned that you were looking about the room. You would note that at the desk, sort of like a receptionist desk, there is a black furred tabaxi female, kind of short, petite. She is doing a lot of paperwork, and she has noticed your presence, and of course greeted each of you as you came in and told you to please wait for a few minutes. But please
So-
continue. I apologize.
So Ragnar would have walked up to the desk, and then as the tabaxi is like, "Hey, you need to chill for a few minutes," he would just stand there and just stare at her.
What is like the demeanor of this person? Like, is he just like blank? Like, there's nothing
Yes.
going on. Like nothing going on.
Yeah, no thoughts.
He's just
Is he
doing that
also
thing that
drooling?
lizards do.
Yes.
Is he also drooling a little bit too?
No, nope, no drool, not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Nope, not
okay.
yet. No drool, not yet. Just standing there, the big giant stone hammer at his side, and the letter in his other hand, just staring down at this poor tabaxi.
So
Just
my
doing what a lizard does. Simple. You told me to wait. I'm waiting.
so you're it's like not like malevolent. You're just like standing there,
Yep.
right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Just waiting.
She just keeps working away. Like it's almost as if she either doesn't mind or doesn't notice that you're still standing there for a minute. Then she like looks up and up and up to meet your gaze once again. And she just goes, "But you can have a seat. It's going to be a few minutes."
And like picks up the stone hammer, walks over to a seat, and then stands there.
She doesn't pay you any more mind.
Remy has been sitting at the entrance of the door watching all of this play out.
So
Would you say you're like right next to Cervoa?
Yeah, I would.
I do.
It's like sitting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, you're fine.
I do want to ask, Proxy, you already did it. I would like physical descriptions from each of you.
Okay.
So I'm going to go down the list. Cider, what does Ragnar look like for those
So-
who don't know?
So Ragnar is a lizard folk. He's a black and white Argentine Tego lizard. It's got a large web fin that starts at the top of his head and then goes all the way to the tip of his tail. Massive, broad shoulders, thick, muscular, typical barbarian type. He's got deep blue eyes and wears, furs and leathers, and he has all kinds of small tokens from like his different journeys and things like that. An example is a claw from like a giant bear that he killed while he was out adventuring or trying to get here. That one looks pretty fresh and gnawed on a little bit. There is a pendant and a torn map that just kind of leads to nowhere apparently. Just it's stuffed in his belt, and he is all scarred up from the basically the chin through his neck, chest, and down even into his legs.
Is he shirtless?
Yes.
I like the little
Naturally.
detail. I like the little detail of you saying it's gnawed on a little bit.
Gnawed on a little. It looks like it was gnawed on a little bit. It's like
Oh,
he was
man.
definitely like in the moment, like feasting on his beast, and he was like, "Man, that's a cool claw. I'm gonna take that as a trophy." And it looks like he just bit it off.
Excellent. Oh my goodness. What about Endro? What does our lovely, lovely other reptile creature look like?
So Enjo is kind of this nice like sand kind of his scales are kind of this like sand color, nice subtle kind of tan. Um the petals that adorn his back are of a nice deep royal dark purple. His eyes are a nice vibrant bright, almost like magenta kind of color. Um Across all of his body is just scars on his petals. It's scars. Some of them are torn and ripped up, just from all the fights he's had to endure. And I think that's just about it. Pretty simple.
Okay. What's he wearing?
Um, he's kind of still in his old gladiator clothing, so it's still kind of just some basic kind of like leather armor almost, where it's just something to just cover the vitals pretty much, like like his chest, waist, some stuff on his like forearms, maybe a shoulder piece.
Beautiful. Yeah.
The old slutty gear.
Shut your mouth.
Where's that forward, Proxy? I do want to clarify for the listeners. Endro is playing a homebrew race of mine called the Floroxy. They are somewhere between a plant and an animal, taking a sort of drakish appearance with a row of petals starting at the top of their head and working all the way around the tip of their tail. Their skin is sort of like that of a leaf, sort of waxy, a little bit of a sheen. They're a lot of fun. You'll definitely be hearing about them in the coming adventures. Now, what about our beautiful little petite fireball Remy?
Remy is adoring a like bucket hat type of deal with holes for their horns. They're wearing pretty much a typical cowboy aesthetic, having a red scarf on their shoulders, and they also have a pendant that is glowing. How do I describe it? It's changing its what color it's glowing pretty much every second. They also have a holster for their revolver and a type of satchel around their waist.
They are a kobold, correct?
Yes, blue kobold.
Excellent. Wonderful. Okay, now that that is out of the way, we all have wonderful images of each other in our heads. So you guys have all been in this room, I assume, acknowledged each other at least, like in body language. Ragnar is still just like blankly staring at the wall.
Nope, nope. Staring at the taxi. I'm waiting
still
for her to tell
staring
me
at
what
the
to do.
cat? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Oh, can I get an HR claim?
Oh my god.
Not even hired
yes.
on, already getting HR called on him. Oh my goodness. So, a few minutes pass once everyone is like gathered in the room. Some details that you do notice: there is only this receptionist. There are a ton more chairs available than there actually are people, obviously. You would assume that they usually have larger hiring events, and naturally between the nature of your invitation and the fact that some of you might have never heard of this organization to begin with, they just, you can kind of tell that this is something a little bit more than just like, hey, we've got a job for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit of time passes, and the receptionist, she pipes up and says, okay, you four can go through the door on my right. Uh she stumbles for a second. She looks into the other door. Pausing for a millisecond. We're gonna cut this once it's out. I forgot the fucking name Oh my god, I am
Dia
so
moment,
upset.
Dia moment, Dia moment.
Exactly right. It happens. Don't worry. You're good, Ty. You're doing a great job.
Don't cut it.
Jesus.
Embrace the fuck ups. Embrace it.
Okay, we're going to leave it in then.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Hell yeah.
Where are my notes? What the heck, bro?
this is a real play. This is real. It doesn't get realer than this.
Oh my fucking
Absolutely.
god! The word was on the tip of my tongue the entire fucking time. Curator. Okay, so she looks up from her desk after like finalizing her little tacking away on her little arcane typewriter, and she looks up and she says, "Okay, all the paperwork is filled. If you four would please enter the door on the right, the curator will see you now." There's a door on the right and on the left.
Very daintily, politely stand up, kind of brush off my dirty suit, and just start walking towards the door.
Same.
Pretty much same. Follow.
I'll
I
pull on
think-
the doorknob, realize it's a push, and then push it.
Correct.
I think I'm gonna walk up to the tabaxi and ask what's behind the other door.
She looks at you puzzled for a second, and she just goes, "Oh, that is just the exit out to the main floor, but that only allows employees out."
We'll see you
Gonna
soon.
nod
Don't
my
worry.
head and- I'm just gonna nod my head and walk through the door on the right then.
As you all enter this second room, you enter. It's sort of imposing. Like, the ceiling gets, like, way taller. Like, the moment you enter the door, like, it almost feels like there's a pressure differential. And it's just, like, it is a long and narrow room with, like, I would say, like, a 20-foot ceiling. The left and right walls are lined with bookshelves, and there are ladders, and these shelves are full. Like, I mean, like, there's no space for new books. Any quick glance from anyone that would be curious would note that every single one of these books was published here. Some of them have actually made it into, like, school systems and other similar things as historical texts. Many others include theory papers and scientific documents about different things that have happened, and theories about what's going on. I mean, the titles tell you everything. These are not novels. These are documents.
On the off chance, would there be anything that catches my intrigue or catches my eye?
I mean, I would think everything does. Like,
Oh yeah, but like for specifically background reasons.
There is nothing stands out to you in particular. Like, there's nothing that would give you any knowledge about that.
Okay.
Can I pull? Sorry, go.
What?
I was
No,
gonna
no.
ask. Can I pull out a random book?
Yes. You reach out and grab a red leather-bound book, with gold.
I'm gonna interrupt you.
binding.
I'm gonna interrupt you, Ty. Cervoa's gonna see this and kind of just like whip their hoof, like their fur hoof at Remy's claws, and be like, "That's rude. Don't touch another man's books. Come on, let's go."
Do you allow this?
It's not like a rude hit. It's just like a little bap on their little clawsies.
Remy is going to give you just a split second of a dirty look before putting it back.
Ask first.
Oh,
Come
but
on.
You do take a look at the book, and like you just looking at it on the shelf after you put it back, probably like longingly, like, I wanted to know what this was. You see a sigil, the Arthican sigil, on the binding. I will send a picture in the images of this voice call as I describe it. The book itself is just from the title alone, it is a theory on creation. One thing of note, no one in Cascadia knows or even has like a solid theory, like anything that seems like remotely plausible about how the Isles were formed. That there, if you look in chat, is the Arthican sigil. Just imagine it emblazoned in gold on the binding there. And for those of you that are watching on the good old YouTubes or the video podcasts on Spotify, if you take a look, I'm pulling it up on the stream right now. This is what the Arthican sigil looks like. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Pause and rewind if you want to see it. But that being said, at the far end of the room, of course, your eyes are being directed that way. There is, on the very far wall, there appear to be a lot of magical runes that are all glowing differently and have different colors, and they're like changing a little bit as they go. And just in front of that, there is a very, very large, beautiful wooden desk, very nicely carved, sort of like Victorian era, if you can imagine. It's got the roll up for the papers, and it's got a nice jade lamp off to the side. And sitting in the chair that is clearly not meant for him is a crotchety, old-looking, like Boston Terrier looking guy. His head is a little bit too big for his shoulders, and he's like rail thin, definitely older, graying around the muzzle and stuff like that. But he looks up over under his readers, and he goes, "Come in," beckoning you all down towards the desk.
As we're being called, all of the runes that are changing colors or anything, do I recognize any of them specifically? Are they like the pendant that I have?
I think it would be like an immediate dismissal of the idea for you. Like, these do not, like, it is not that kind of magic.
Understandable. Still. Okay.
Yeah, I respect the drive to figure out what's going on. But do you all
As
approach?
we
Yeah, walk. Yeah. Yes.
As I approach, can I keep looking at the books that are on the shelving? Specifically for the one that Remy was gonna grab, and for any based on any like ancient or past weaponry.
Remy is going to immediately slap your hand just as Cervoa did.
Jesus. I am
I
just
can-
going to glare back and grab the books anyway.
There are a few that stick out to you on a like reachable level for you. One in particular talks about old sword fighting techniques. Another is a catalog of ancient weaponry found in a specific burial site on the. It's a very, very old book. It references a land named Hale, which I think you would not recognize that name at all. But it is just from a burial, like a dig site on that island. Otherwise, it's not very many in this room stick out to you specifically about weaponry.
Cervoa visibly cringes and kind of like gives you like a side glance.
Bombastic side eye.
So
Bomb, yeah, literally.
So I want to grab the book based off of the older fighting styles, and as I'm being glared at, proceedingly going to glare back at Cervoa as I grab the book that Remy was before reaching.
So,
Okay.
All you really hear from Remy is just a small, just little nosy ass mouth.
all right. So, yeah, Ragnar's just like, you know what? Cool. I'm gonna drag my giant stone hammer over to the desk. I'm gonna plop it down on the desk,
Oh,
right?
Down on the
And I'm gonna point at it, and I'm gonna say, "You said you could help me with this."
Servo's like fixing his tie, like straightening his jacket, like
Mm-mm.
trying to overcompensate for the lack of manners in the room.
Nope. Just that.
as soon as
Oh,
as soon as Ragnar plops their fucking hammer on the table, Remy's just going to facepalm and then just start opening a pack of cigarettes.
The manners are out of the fucking building.
I
So-
think this is where Cervoa draws the line. He's going to grab the cigarette out of your paw and go, "See those books? These are not. You know, these are fine crafts. These are fine artifacts. I don't think you should be smoking near them." And then he releases the cigarette back into your hand.
You're okay with this giant dragon folk putting a 200-pound hammer on the table, but I can't smoke?
Isn't the table ain't an artifact? That's fine. Your smoke's gonna get all over the books. Anyway, this kind man has offered to hear us out here, so I think we should just calm down and just
So
like hear out a man.
Sure, let's get this over with.
Ragnar, as you
Mhm.
go to put the hammer on the table, you would think it would deal a lot more damage dropping it onto the surface, but as it hits the table, there's just this like blue pulse of energy that ripples like a quarter inch over the surface of the table.
Okay.
But that is the only other effect. It's like
He doesn't
you know,
slam. No, he doesn't like slam it down. He's not like a fucking brute. He's just like he just puts it down. You know, like
yeah, I mean
bam.
it's that is still like a 400
Okay,
something
all right.
pound block
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
stone.
that's not 400
yeah,
pounds.
yeah, see, don't forget, you're just
Fair
carrying
enough.
around stone, really.
Fair enough.
Or just kind of boulder as a hammer.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So
Put it.
Oh, the fucking yes.
so I want to make sure I'm understanding something. Does your character believe that note was like, we are going to help you with that issue, or did I say
Yes.
something that I'm forgetting?
No, that's what the character believes. The character believes my character got the note, and the person that handed him the note would have said, "Hey, they can probably help you with that."
That's right. I do remember saying something with that.
And so my character's just like, "Cool, let's go."
Did they not even read the note? It's just
Nope.
that they
Yep. Nope.
Saw the address and just went to it.
Basically.
type
My
shit.
my palm has met my forehead.
Hey, Cervoa's with you.
Okay, how do I handle this? The man, as you like raise your hammer to put it on his table, visibly recoils, and you just gently set it down, and he goes, well, I don't know anything about that. I know about an interview that I have to conduct. Sir, did you read the note that we sent you?
No.
He blinks.
Small.
I just want to
Small,
say
like-
real quick, I like to imagine there's just a decently long pause before it's just the simple no.
Yes.
That's exactly what
And it
happened.
makes it so much better.
With no emotion whatsoever, just
No.
no.
It's like small awkward chuckle underneath Cervoa's breath. It's just like, like half chuckle, half groan of pain.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
I'm struggling to get this out because I'm laughing so much.
Uh,
He
Uh.
looks at you and goes, "Well, listen, you work with me, I work with you. If you will please move your hammer off the table gently onto the floor, and please have a seat. Sit in one of the 4 chairs positioned behind you. We will just have a simple interview, and then someone can get to you about helping you with your sword hammer problem."
okay.
Those of you that are like watching him, he is very uncomfortable. Like he
Uh,
knows how to handle like oafish characters, but this is like a new level of like you didn't even read the note. What am I supposed to do?
Cervoa is gonna pull out 2 chairs and then his own, just leave the one chair that assumedly what's his name Ragnar would sit in, and just leave it tucked in. He knows he's not gonna sit
Yeah,
down.
no, he doesn't. He
Takes-
walks over to the chair and he just stands there.
Yep, politely sits in his own chair and waits for the others to sit in theirs.
Assuming everyone else sits down, I'm going to montage through this a little bit. It is an interview, and it is going to be very boring. Okay, I want to set that tone. Like, this is like the most amount of legalese and like bullshit and misunderstanding possible. The only real questions that are like pertinent to listeners is he will ask each of you where you are from. So I would like to hear answers for that. I suppose I'll go down the line. Endro, you're up.
My brain just flatlined. Could you repeat it one more time? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
Where are you from?
yeah, the first question that I'm actually going to ask like is
Okay.
where are you from?
Gotcha. Okay. I got it. I'm sorry. My brain flatlined. Oof. Oh, my brain's flatlining. Oh my god.
Do you want me to come back to you?
Please.
Okay. On the other side,
Oh.
Remy, where is Remy from?
Eris Hollow. I've been here most of my life. I've in fact even worked with you guys multiple times in the past.
That sounds about right. Your father, Mr. Lacuna, he was a fairly prominent member, I believe. Is that
Yes.
correct? Hmm.
Yes, that'll be right. We also supplied you guys with weapons and items for a long time.
Fine, man.
Must have been working with one of our other offshoots. I do not remember that, but either way, it is good to have you back. Mr. Cervoa, I believe I've seen you around. Where are you from?
Here and there. Originally I come from a nice place far off called Cervoa. It's bit off a ways, probably not familiar with it, but it's realistically I'm kind of all over. I've been going through recent colleges and kind of just getting around, wandering scholar and all that.
You said Cervoa? Is that one of those outer isles? I don't think I know that name.
Certainly one of the outer ones, like outer. Yeah.
He takes this
Yes, sir.
note. He looks a little bit. He's like racking his brain, trying to figure out like, is this actually a place, or are you pulling his leg? But he's going to look at Ragnar, and he's gonna look up and up and up to meet his gaze. And like Ragnar is not necessarily tall; he's just standing. Like he is
Yeah.
tall, but Ragnar is just standing, and this guy is sitting. He is already small. Like
Yeah. Ragnar is at the top of the medium list, the top of the medium height chart.
like 7
whatever
foot
that
2 or something like that.
Yeah, something dumb like
really
that. Yeah.
pushing large.
Um, I mean, he definitely is a large creature, just not mechanically.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he's going to look up at you and like look at you a little bit,
Mhm.
like up and down, and he will blatantly ask, "Are you from Centania, rather?
No, the inn over down the street.
Are you pulling his leg?"
No, no. I slept there last night. That's where I'm from.
He notes down Santania.
My character's head just kind of looks up like I'm proud that like that was my answer. Like yes, the inn down the street. That's where I slept last night. So that's where I'm from.
Hey,
That's his
fellow
answer.
wanderer. Yeah.
Hey, home's where the heart is, man.
Or the part you last ate.
Oh,
Real.
Jesus Christ! Are you sure?
Does he
Are
say
we
that
sure?
aloud?
Are we sure that Ragnar is not a frenzy barbarian?
I
Or
feel like
berserker?
it.
But he's going to finally get to you, Endro, and look you up and down and wave his hand as if to ask the same question he has asked multiple times by now. The DM is just tired of doing the voice.
Yeah.
I'm from Astoria, deep in the megafauna jungle. I've come here just purely because you've sent this letter, and I thought it'd be best for, in my best interest to at least check it out.
Well, we are very thankful to have you, Mr. Endro. And he will note that down as well. The next question he will ask, like this is like 15 to 20 minutes later. Like this is like these questions
Jeez.
are positioned. This is a long ass interview. Like it is uncomfortable. I think Ragnar might start getting like his feet might start getting tired like by the end of this.
Nah.
But the next question is, what strengths do you bring? I'm going to go in the opposite order. So I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot, Endro, but what do you think your character's greatest skill, greatest strength would be? You don't have to answer in character necessarily. Oh.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh, they're back.
You
He's back.
good?
It crashed.
Okay.
My Discord crashed.
Timing for a
Worst
crash.
timing. Anyway,
Mhm, mhm.
Technical issues.
But what do I bring to the table? I would have to say something along the lines of like a tactical prowess, like strategy, and being able to come up with a plan with a plan quick on the spot. And then possibly pretty decent at fighting, and being able to hold off an enemy or two. Taking not necessarily going, full on like tanking the front line like good old Ragnar, as a behemoth he is, but something a bit more like I'd be able to take out an enemy quick and then move on to the next and just keep going down.
Love it. Love it. Ragnar, the same question is poised to you. I think your answer is your strength. Would I be correct?
Yeah.
Is that all he says? Like it is
No.
No?
And I can hold my breath for 15 minutes.
That indeed is a strength in itself. Cervoa, same to you.
I am, much as yourself, though I'm sure slightly less trained so, am a scholar of sorts. I'm also a half decent spell sword, and he kind of like taps the rapier that's attached to his hip.
He nods and says, I've worked with a few plate singers in my time, and it is wonderful to see yet another. And
Grins and nods.
And of you, Miss Remmy.
I can shoot things, and I can collaborate with others if need be. That's
She can.
Nothing much else to note.
He nods, and this sort of thing goes on ad nauseum for another 30 minutes or so. Like it is just annoying how long
Hate
this goes
interviews.
on.
It's
And
like a real one.
and there are points where he leaves the room and comes back later with another set of questions, and it is just, this is the most irritating thing. I would figure that Endro starts flipping through the books that he pulled off the wall.
He has 100% got a cigarette.
Oh my god.
Ragnar just stands there. He's happy to answer all of their questions. Any question they want, he will answer to the best of his ability.
He's been standing just still for at least an hour by now.
That is-
Nope. After about 25 minutes, his big toe starts tapping.
he's a lizard. They'll just stand there. If they're warm and sated, they stand there.
Unblinking.
But
I
I mean,
eventually,
obviously the tongue comes out a couple times, obviously, just because it's a lizard thing to do.
yeah.
Suit thing.
Naturally, eventually, this interview will be over. Thank the gods. But, oh, jeez, where did mine? What? I wrote more than this. I don't know what's going on. It's missing. It's strange. Maybe it's the other document. Is this it? No, it's okay.
Me and my
It's
5
okay.
documents.
It is a-okay. I am fine. This is fine. It's not gonna bother me. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Okay. But eventually, he will say, "Oh, I know where my notes are. They are in the DMs of one of the people in this fucking thing."
Beautiful.
Goes so hard.
I just
Go taking
need...
100.
Yeah, yeah.
100.
Like this is the best work I've ever done.
Feel ya. I feel ya.
But scrolling up.
It's fine.
I
We'll
have-
just fill some dead air.
Yeah. What the fuck? Where?
Did you say you lit up a cigarette, Remy?
Yes.
Oh, you're reading one of the books?
No, I'm not reading any of the books.
Oh, okay, good.
No,
Okay.
I'd only grabbed the one that they were going to, and then one
Okay.
for myself.
Remy is just staring at the fucking ceiling, bored out of their fucking mind.
I apologize, y'all. Let's pause for a second. I'm
You're
tweaking.
good.
Fine.
Take your time. Take your time.
I'm just doing a little roleplay.
Yeah.
Just to further harass you, you're going to notice a ghostly visage of like a hand. It is, as you're trained in Arcana, you're familiar with how like spells are taught. This is the most perfect generic mage hand you have ever fucking seen in your life. And it lowers in front of your face, and it just with 2 fingers pinches the end of your cigarette.
Yeah.
As you're
This is all while Cervoa is like still looking forward. You just notice like a little hand movement while his hands are like on his lap.
Not gonna lie, that makes me chuckle a little bit.
As
One-
the mage hand is going towards their cigarette, you just see them pull out the box, and then they gesture towards you, like, "Do you want one?" And if you even move your hand at all, they would flip open the box with their middle finger.
That's funny.
So you got your father's charisma. That's lovely.
I'm an angel compared to him.
You would note Cervoa being someone who is like looking around like, and I suppose Remy as well. There is like the smoke trailing upwards. There is a small like magical effect at like the top of the trail, and the smoke is not filling the room. It is just burning away. Like it is being it is being destroyed. Like
Interesting.
you know, but
It's
it
nice.
is going away. But you know, like there is like one of the runes on the far wall shifts into a no smoking sign.
That's amazing.
The mage hand floats up and just kind of like taps the sign before dissipating.
So the guy, the person you believe is curator, comes back in. There's a little bit more ad nauseum interview questions, and he eventually slammed his book shut. And he goes, "Well, we will review these answers and get back to you within 8 to 10 business days." And before he can even finish the sentence, the door slams open behind you. You all turn to look, and there is this tall dragonborn, silver scales, wearing a very wide brimmed hat with a fiery orange feather sticking out the top, long brown trench coat with a smart belt wrapped around his waist and a nice gold buckle, and gold spurs adorn cowboy style boots as he looks in. He speaks. "No need. They're hired." And that is where we are going to pick up next time on As Above, So Below. Come join us next week for episode 2, where we figure out who this beautiful man is. Thank you all for listening so much, guys. It has been a pleasure, and thank you, players, for playing. This has been fun. I can't wait to see where this goes, and I hope you'll stay with us to
Likewise.
find out. With that all said and done, please come back for episode 2 and have a wonderful day.